Prediction markets are all the rage, all over the market. The Super Bowl, they broke all sorts of records.
Essentially, we'll become the world's first real money gaming and financial super app all in one.
To get to the growth that you guys have seen, you must have a very well-oiled marketing machine.
We might be the fastest to ever get to 1 million paying customers, having done so in 2.5 years. Nearly 90% or more prediction markets volume is coming from sports, and Betr has become one of the top brands in sports. This is a story of TAM expansion. It's a story of enabling all of us to launch these products that we've spent many years putting our blood, sweat, and tears into nationwide. We're going to have a field day across marketing and product here, and I've been in this industry for 11 years now, since I dropped out of college to only work in sports gaming.
In 2020, I did my first trade on Polymarket, and it was such a clunky thing. You had to bridge your asset and connect your crypto wallet, and I had Shane in my DMs messaging me telling me to come back and trade more. 6 years down the line, it's going to be integrated, fully regulated, very easy, very smooth funnel. So prediction markets are all the rage, all over the market. The Super Bowl, they broke all sorts of records. Polymarket had a record-breaking month last month as well. And it seems now that they're about to grow quite a bit with the latest partnership that is just being announced. Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, sure. Happy to tell you about the deal, and maybe just take a step back for a minute. Betr, since we launched our product only about 2.5 years ago, has already reached 1 million paying customers. So we've quickly become one of the larger companies in this category, and we're certainly one of the fastest growing companies in the broader sports gaming industry. We might be the fastest to ever get to 1 million paying customers, having done so in just 2.5 years. But what's really exciting about that is that was predominantly through a fantasy pick'em product called Betr Picks. We 6 months ago launched our social sportsbook and arcade products. So we went from 1 to 3 products 6 months ago, and then actually just last week soft launched the Betr Social Casino as well, which we eventually plan on having in at least 25 plus states. So we have 4 products in our super app right now. We have Betr Picks, we have Betr Social Sportsbook, we have Betr Arcade, and we now have the Betr Social Casino in certain states. And prediction markets is kind of, from our perspective, the culmination of at least the initial iteration of our super app, where we're going to have 5 different products all in one app, with a consolidated user wallet, consolidating payment methods and KYC methods, and just creating the most seamless user experience for consumers to get everything, both real money gaming and now fintech, given prediction markets are in that vertical, to build what essentially will become the world's first real money gaming and financial super app all in one. And we're thrilled to launch prediction markets with Polymarket, who is the global leader in prediction markets and really the pioneer of the category. And they have a deep understanding of and focus on sports. And I think one of the key reasons why they wanted to work with us is because they understand that sports is probably going to be the bulk of prediction markets volume going forward. I think you're seeing in the US regulated market with Kalshi that nearly 90% or more prediction markets volume is coming from sports, and Betr has become one of the top brands in sports. And really everything we do, from product, technology, risk management, pricing, trading, brand, marketing, generosity, everything we do is focused on sports. And that's really 90% of this emerging market. So I think Betr is incredibly well positioned to win in prediction markets. And now with this deal with Polymarket, we'll be able to launch prediction markets in the Betr super app over the coming months, nationwide. So we're really excited about it.
That's pretty cool. So help me understand a little bit. So once this deal goes live, users will be able within the app to bet on sports both via prediction markets and also the traditional sportsbook, or is it going to be blended into one? How's it going to work from the user's perspective?
Yeah, so it'll be different based on the state that users are in.
Got it.
We plan on launching some form of prediction markets likely in all 50 states, when we ultimately go live with Polymarket via this partnership. Obviously, existing fantasy pick'em businesses and social sportsbook businesses in certain states where we don't want to offer like a super redundant user experience, but there's a lot of other markets via prediction markets that we can offer with the existing fantasy pick'em products and social sportsbook products, right? That, speculation on the weather and pop culture and political happenings. Those are all things that would certainly be in a 50 state offering. But then being able to offer sports in, the 16 plus states where we're not currently offering sports is something that should also really expand the TAM for Betr. But we ultimately view prediction markets as a really important and exciting future part of our business. And it's really kind of it's kind of unlocked a new wave of product innovation now. Emerging companies like Betr can launch nationwide and kind of have the optionality to either do so via prediction markets or some of these other verticals or some combination of all of them. And our super app strategy bodes really well to this. It's both a way to really differentiate us from a user experience standpoint, because we're the only ones that are essentially going to be able to offer nationwide sports and nationwide casino now that we're live with the social casino. But it's also kind of a great sort of platform for the regulatory environment, right? Because there's some open questions on that front too. But we're very bullish on prediction markets. We're very bullish on poly market. And we're just, incredibly excited for what this partnership will unlock for us in the short, medium, and long terms.
So basically, you will offer the full suite of markets that Polymarket offers right now, with the exception of sports in some states. So will be able to log on to Betr and look at the weather markets, the politics markets, and engage with that. Right? Do you see that as primarily a user acquisition tool? Is this what's this about? Is this a retention thing, or is it just let's become a super app and offer everything possible?
Yeah, and just to correct that to some extent, like we do plan on offering sports nationwide via Polymarket, right? I think we're just finalizing the exact
Got it.
initial state rollout, but like to be abundantly clear, like we will launch sports prediction markets nationwide, and Polymarket will power those and or power that offering rather, and we're very excited about it. We're just we may pursue a bit of a phased approach on sports, just given some of the other products that we currently have.
Understood.
But we'll have the optionality to go fully nationwide with it over time. And sorry, can you clarify the other part of the
Yeah.
question?
So do you see this as a valuable user acquisition tool, or do you think this is something that your users already want, but they don't have access to already? Like, is it a retention play, user acquisition play? How do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it's all the above, right? Like we're already really good at acquiring and retaining and generating value from customers and really offering them the best real money gaming super app really we're a first mover on the super app, and we're the only ones doing it right now, and it's just been our users really love the seamless transition from one gaming product to the next. But look, when you're able to kind of, as I already mentioned, go from a 34 state sports business with picks or a 32 state sportsbook business with the social sportsbook to having all 50 state exposure via this, you're just going to expand the TAM. And when you expand the TAM, you're going to be able to scale up marketing spend in a way where you'll maintain efficiency on your marketing spend, or it'll actually improve over time because you just have a much larger market to go after. There's other net new product innovation that can be built on top of prediction markets that I don't want to get into right now, but is pretty compelling and something that is I think we'll build products on top of these prediction markets that the industry has not launched yet or has not seen before. So there's going to be significant TAM expansion, which will improve acquisition. There will be a more robust product offering as a result of the incremental markets, which will improve retention and player value. So the unit economics should improve. The overall size of the business will improve. We're bullish on this being an industry here to stay from a regulatory perspective,
Mhm.
which should, further bolster an already strong, corporate profile from kind of just a valuation and investor perspective as well. So there's just so many things about this partnership and our entry into prediction markets that are just absolutely game changing for the business, and just really pumped about it.
Yeah, I mean, to get to the growth that you guys have seen, you must have a very well oiled marketing machine. And I'm sure that many people in your marketing team are very much looking forward to the day where they have the whole breadth of Polymarket's markets to work with as ad creatives on social media, etc., because it just gives you a tremendous amount of inventory that, as you said, can be deployed across all 50 states.
Absolutely. I think also from just like a marketing content perspective, like there's so much we could do around just creating content around these different types of markets that are, not just on the nose sports betting or fantasy pick'em or casinos. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna have a field day across marketing and product here, and really who's gonna win at the end of the day is the end consumer who just
Yeah.
wants to be entertained, to be more connected with real time events across sports, politics, pop culture, etc. Um, and I think just like all of the really difficult and time consuming work that we put in to build this well oiled machine, as you put it, just positions us incredibly well to win in prediction markets. There's just aspects of how we, you know, allocate generosity and acquire customers and retain customers that more traditional fintechs and crypto companies and even other sports companies just don't have, that I think will really position us to win here.
One team that might be a little bit less excited about this within your company might be the legal team. They might be asking you all sorts of questions around, how are you going to curate the market if, you get potentially controversial ones with regards to, I don't know, like real world events, potential wartime things like we're seeing over this weekend, or, what happens if there's allegations of insiders trading on classified information, things like that. How have you guys thought internally about these potential difficulties?
Yeah, I think whenever there's a rapidly growing emerging market, there's going to be challenges because this is an industry that hadn't really, I mean, it had technically existed before, but it hadn't existed kind of within mainstream business and just general pop culture before. And there's going to be edge cases and different things to deal with that maybe haven't been considered before at scale. And, generally, between Polymarket, Kalshi, Crypto.com, some of the other DCMs out there, and then some of the other consumer facing companies offering this, like it seems like everybody's pretty focused on being a good actor, operating with integrity, working together to figure out the right set of kind of policies and procedures and integrity frameworks to go about solving for some of these problems. To go back to sports, for example, like the NHL and the MLS have already created frameworks for this and have partnered with the prediction market companies, and I'd expect more from the leagues on that front. So I think like the broader kind of sports and business and really economic communities are realizing that prediction markets are here to stay. So let's just work together to figure out how to protect consumers, how to be fair to different stakeholders. But there's always going to be open questions and challenges, but fortunately there's a lot of good actors in the space who are working together to solve those challenges and come up with the right set of solutions.
Got it. I have one last question. I spent a good amount of time talking over the last few months with Ismail Vali, who's he's a president of Gaming Compliance International. And their argument is that a lot of the traditional sport books in the US are basically either not growing or not making a lot of money, actually losing money because of all of the disruption that's going on in the market, all of the competition coming one from innovators like the predictors to what he calls illegal or offshore or unregulated crypto casinos. Now, of course, you've got a very fast growing, successful company. What do you see about this? Is part of this true? Do you see it differently? Is it more of a disruption story where innovators are coming in, disrupting incumbents? How do you see this?
Yeah, I don't know if I fully buy the cannibalization narrative that some are running with. I think that this is overall a narrative this is a story of TAM expansion. It's a
Mm-hmm.
story of enabling all of us to launch these products that we've spent many years putting our blood, sweat, and tears into nationwide and not having regulatory capture from incumbents, preventing companies like Better from turning on nationwide, and ultimately offering the end consumer the type of engagement experiences, whether it be through real money gaming or fintech, that they want. I think sports companies are actually really well positioned for this new world of prediction markets because we've spent so much time, we've spent years and millions of dollars and effort just building the requisite technology to price and trade these markets, to offer parlays, to acquire and retain these users, to deploy generosity properly, to figure out how to position our brands for these types of users. So I could go on, right? There's dozens of different things that are literally in our DNA that give us an advantage on the 90% of this category. And now we can go nationwide, right? So I think kind of my contrarian take on what's happening with prediction markets is this is actually an amazing development for the sports companies, especially companies like Better that are emerging in the category, that are in tune with Gen Z, who have embraced emerging verticals like fantasy pick'em and some of the other verticals we're in. So yeah, I think it'll be transformative for our business and some other businesses in a very positive way, and most importantly, for the end consumer. So it's a really exciting time. I've been in this industry for 11 years now since I dropped out of college to only work in sports gaming, and I can unequivocally say it's never been a more exciting time to be in this category.
Yeah, I mean, just a quick anecdote to wrap things up. In 2020, I did my first trade on Polymarket, and it was such a clunky thing. You had to like bridge your asset and like connect your crypto wallet, and I had Shane in my DMs messaging me, telling me to come back and trade more. 6 years down the line, it's going to be integrated, fully regulated, very easy, very smooth funnel. So things have come a very, very long way. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, no, happy to do it. Appreciate the time and interest in what we're building.